Hello everybody, I'm Zach Moletz. Yeah.
I'm Chance Wandler.
I'm Alex Wargo.
And this is Movie Minute, and in today's video, we are actually getting back on top of like the topical movies instead of going back in time like we did last week. So our first movie that we're going to be talking about is the new Aladdin.
Don't you dare close your eyes. Hold your breath, it gets better. I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. Let me share this whole new world with you.
Who wants to explain that one?
It's Aladdin, but now it's live action. If you've seen the Disney movie from the 90s,
Yeah,
you've
okay,
seen this,
yeah.
except just it doesn't have Robin Williams as the genie. It has Will Smith, and we've all seen the memes, right?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
it's real good, great CGI. Could never be better.
O great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes 3. I'm kidding.
Yeah, a lot of controversy on the blue Will Smith, and the fact if he's gonna actually be as good as Robin Williams. There's just a lot of controversy behind it. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
I thought it looked fantastic. I mean, not the CGI,
Yeah.
but like
Well, yeah, it
they
looks
gave out,
like they're doing Aladdin well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, they gave out the trailer, like the first trailer, because some people didn't even know
Yeah.
live action Aladdin was coming out. We're all focused on the Lion King. Let's be honest here.
It's not live action. Never call that the new Lion
They're
King
saying
live
it's
action.
live action.
It's
Live
not.
action.
I know
it's
it's
all
not the
CGI.
same as live
I'm
action.
sorry,
Back
this
on
is one thing
Aladdin.
that bothers me.
But they wanted to place out that trailer early because I think it's coming out before the Lion King.
Yeah, Aladdin.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get that out. And so the CGI isn't fully done with the genie. So, I mean, I'm not really it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be good because it's still the thing. And the reason why they wanted Will Smith to play the genie is because no one can really live up to Robin Williams.
Yeah, no, for
I'm
sure.
not saying it would ever live up to Robin Williams. It's not like just Will Smith, it's just in general. But
Yeah, well, they said we needed someone who isn't going to be in competition with Robin Williams, but will set his own way,
standard, yeah.
yeah, standard of the genie. So no one's expecting it to be better than Robin Williams because no one could ever top
Yeah.
Robin Williams. But they're at least Will Smith will put his own way on it, so people don't have to compare.
Yeah.
They could have gotten the guy who voiced the genie in the direct-to-DVD Aladdin sequel.
I mean, they could have, but I don't think it looks like Robin Williams.
Well, no, because Dan Castellaneta, he voiced Genie in the sequel. Yeah, it was Aladdin 2, Return to Jafar, and then in every Kingdom Hearts game with the Genie,
Okay.
it was Dan Castellaneta, which, I mean, it sounds somewhat like Robin Williams.
Yeah.
It's a mix between Robin Williams, Genie, and Homer Simpson.
Okay,
But
interesting.
yeah, I mean, Will Smith is going to be okay as a Genie.
He's gonna live up to the expectation. I feel.
He's gonna live. Well, I mean, the expectation isn't much.
Yeah.
I won't
yeah,
lie.
To be honest.
I think he's going to be better than everybody's believing. He's
Yeah,
gonna be.
I
for
think
sure.
it's just people are comparing him to Robin Williams.
Yeah, people
Which-
just won't accept the fact that it's not Robin
Not
Williams.
Robin Williams.
So no matter who they put in there, everybody was going to be like, it's not going to be good. But since it's Will Smith, I believe it's going to be.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be good. It's just not going to live up to the standard everybody wants it to be.
And he's not going to be CGI the entire film. Like they did come out and say that there are scenes that he will look
Yeah,
like a human.
which
the
I
point
do
at
like.
the end, whenever he has the legs because he's been freed, he's just gonna be Will Smith but painted blue.
I honestly love that. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I really like the scene in Arrested Development when
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't really give it a score, but expectations pretty high for the movie. So yeah, all right. And then our next movie, I think, is Toy Story 4.
I was made to help a child. I don't remember it being this hard.
Woody, somebody's whispering in your ear. Everything's gonna be okay.
Now, as the resident Pixar dweeb, I believe that I will explain this one. So it is the surprise 4th installment of the Toy Story franchise. They should have stopped at 3, but that's besides the point. So Bonnie, the main character, creates a toy out of a spork. And the spork is somewhat suicidal and wants to run away. That's honestly what happens. Wants to run away. He literally says, "I'm meant for food and to be thrown away," and jumps out of a moving vehicle.
I'm pretty sure at one point in the trailer, the spork asks, "Why am I alive?"
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, he
exactly.
does ask, "Why
yeah.
am I alive?"
I don't think Bonnie is the main character.
I looked at it and
The
I
toys
went,
are the main
I
character.
think he's the main human character. All right.
I'm just saying.
And so Woody, being the hero that
Tom
he
Hanks
is,
being the hero
yes,
he is, not Woody. Tom Hanks.
chases after this living spork and winds up in an antique store, where he is basically hunted by ventriloquist dummies, which I heard aren't supposed to have any voices, so they're supposed to be like predator type.
That's a little
things.
creepy.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
the-
really
like
creepy.
And
Dolls
the-
already
yeah.
creepy.
The Velociraptors. from
Yeah,
Jurassic
yeah,
Park,
and because they're like fabric, they can like squeeze through stuff, like the chrome Terminator.
Oh my God.
Like
I'm
stuff
gonna
like
be
that. They're supposed to be
terrified while watching
super,
this
super
movie.
Terminator
creepy.
2, everybody. Terminator
Yes,
2.
yes,
Yeah,
Terminator
the
2.
T-1000.
And they're run by a string pull.
Oh,
They're run by a string pull doll that has a man's voice. She's a defective doll. She sounds like a dude. A little creepy. But Bo Peep from the very first one actually saves him and apparently has a like adoption center for lost toys at this carnival, where she secretly hides them on prize walls, and that's how they get back to new owners. And so it looks very interesting, and the whole premise is Woody gonna stay at this carnival with Bonnie, or not with Bonnie, with Bo Peep, or is he gonna go back to his owner? So, and I mean, that's kind of the premise of all Toy Story movies, if you think about it, like Woody or somebody gets separated from the group and the rest of the group goes to save them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I'm very, very excited for this. I've been obsessed with Toy Story, like literally my entire life. I was Buzz Lightyear for 3 Halloweens when I was younger. Like, I was that obsessed with Toy
last
Story.
year, or?
Oh, you're funny. No. But I'm very excited for the movie. What do you guys think?
Go to him first.
Go to you? All right.
So I didn't really watch any of the trailers before, like about 5 minutes ago. I just watched the trailer for this, but I mean I'm excited because again I just finished Kingdom Hearts 3 like a few weeks ago, and there's a Toy Story world in there, and that got me back into like the Toy Story like I don't want to say hype train, but I want to rewatch the first 3 now. But I don't have access to them, so it's been real rough being me lately. But yeah, I don't know. It looks good. I don't want to say that it doesn't make sense why they're making it because I don't know. It makes sense, I guess, from like
a money standpoint.
a money standpoint. But even still, storytelling wise, I mean, they still made stuff after Toy Story 3. And
yeah, like the little shorts and stuff.
yeah, so I think the people who are claiming like this movie should never have happened, I either think never knew about the shorts, or know about them, but they just want to be mad about something.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're just too stubborn to
Yeah.
do anything else with their lives.
Oh yeah, exactly.
What do you think, Chance?
Okay, I'm gonna come off controversial about it because I'm not a big fan of the Toy Story franchise.
Controversy.
I'm more of a Monsters Inc. person.
Understandable.
Okay, all right.
I've never seen the second Monsters.
Because I think they try to put too much of a sad spin on the life of a toy.
Well, I mean, the more recent ones, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
But
like-
that wasn't the intent with like the
I know
first
that wasn't
one.
the intent, but that's what they did. The first one wasn't bad, but then the second and third one, I'm like, okay, now it's starting to get a little like, why am I crying at a children's movie? And now the fourth one, like, why do I identify more with the spoon at this point? Or the sport. Why do I identify more with the sport?
That is the sad truth.
I
right
made
there.
for food, why am I alive?
Woody, we have a situation. I am not a toy. I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash.
Why do I identify with the sport?
I asked the second question at
gosh.
least 3 times a day. I mean,
That's amazing. That's the best realization I've ever heard in my entire
I
life.
think that's the thing though, is when a children's movie, you either cry at the end of it, or it makes you start realizing that you identify with the character who wants to end their own life.
Yeah.
I think that means it's a well-made movie.
Yeah.
When you're a grown adult.
If you think about it, yeah.
I think they should have stopped at 3.
Yeah.
3 had a nice cap on it. Andy left for college. All the toys are together. They're with Bonnie, who will use them again for the next 10 years. 'Cause what was she, like 8 at the time?
Well, she was in preschool.
Preschool, yeah.
Oh,
so
so
maybe
younger
like
than that.
like
5,
6,
somewhere around there.
So yeah, I thought it put a good cap on the on the franchise, and I'm like, I could deal with this as an ending to kind of my childhood, not really my childhood,
my childhood,
but
100%.
my childhood, and I thought it was good. And now when I heard they were making a 4th one, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. And then I heard that they were adding Keenan Peele voice some toys in there,
With the plushies
and I
at the
heard
back.
Bo Peep was coming back. I'm like, what is this? And then when I saw the first teaser trailer, with them hopping in a circle, and the sport came out, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, this makes no sense whatsoever. And now the trailer kind of put like, this is what we're doing with it. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, but I think they just shouldn't have made the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
They have a lot more people than I knew they did. Like I didn't know they had Key and Peele. I just
Yeah,
found out they have Keanu Reeves voicing.
Yeah,
them.
Keanu Reeves voices a Canadian Daredevil toy in this movie, which is one of the only reasons why I might watch it, because
Wait, is
I love
Keanu
Keanu Reeves.
Canadian?
I
don't know.
Okay.
But it's small Easter egg. In every Pixar movie, they have an Easter egg to the upcoming movie. If you look in Jack's crib in Incredibles 2, you see the exact toy that Keanu Reeves voices.
Really?
Yeah, lying on the floor.
There's
And
like-
I called it too. I knew it was
In
going to
every
be in the
Pixar
movie.
movie, they have the one truck.
Not in the first Incredibles.
it's
It's not
not in the
in the first Incredibles. Only one.
I bet it is if you look hard enough.
They have said it's in there, but nobody's found it.
Probably on
so,
like a sign or something.
I'll
Yeah.
rewatch it tonight, and I'll go
Be the
over
judge
with a
of that.
fine-tooth comb.
Yeah. But I am very, very, very excited for this movie, regardless if I think they should end at 3. I don't know. It's just the like young Zach freaking out on the inside, so I'm very excited for it.
It's the start of it could be like the start of like a Toy Story trilogy for
Yeah,
like a new
like a
generation.
new generation
yeah.
for sure.
I think like, what is this? 2 decades now that they're.
Yeah.
I think the kids who, like, were 5, 6 years old when this first came out are kind of over the fact, and like the kids who are gonna, or like the parents are gonna
Yeah.
take their kids to watch this movie, and the kids aren't gonna understand it. Like,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
want to go see Toy Story 4? And they're gonna be like, 4? What? I didn't
Yeah.
even see
Well,
1,
'cause the
2,
first
and
one
3.
came
I
out
mean,
in
they're not gonna say that. They're
95.
5 years old, but.
First one
Yeah,
came out in
real-
95, second one came out in 99, third one came out in 2010, and now this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're so spread out.
Rewatching the first Toy Story, by the way, it's rough.
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't-
yeah.
Like, I'm still terrified of Sid and his, I don't know what to call the toys he made.
Yeah.
I'm still terrified of them, not because they're like inherently like terrifying.
Just because of the
Just-
animation.
yeah, the animation
being
is
so
just-
poor.
Well, it was like Pixar's first.
yeah,
re-
very first movie
Yeah.
ever like that to have
So,
like 3D animation.
That
like
I think that was
I
fantastic.
mean, it's still really good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But just
Yeah.
compared to like today's standards,
it's starting to get a little crude.
I just think like they're trying to do too much with this. Like, I understand like the toys are like, we have to save this toy because this is the toy Bonnie likes. But in the first movie, Woody didn't want another toy to
be, like,
intervene
bedded
with
with
him.
him, yeah.
That's the one part.
it's
That's another
character
part where
growth.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's character growth. Like in the first movie, Woody didn't want Andy to get a new toy or Buzz because it would take attention away from him. In this one, Woody sacrifices his life to save a spork, which I identify with. Strangely, #identify with a spork.
You get that trend.
Yeah. All right.
Everyone who's watching this, go tweet out #identify with
Identify
the
with the
sport.
sport. Yeah. All right.
Identify with the spork.
So I think we should move on to our next topic. Going from like the lighthearted Disney movies to more of a very, very like bloody tone. John Wick 3.
All of this for what? Because of a puppy?
Wasn't just a puppy.
You can
I'm gonna
explain
do this one
Pretty
because I love
lighthearted.
it. Okay, John Wick 1. John Wick is a retired assassin or contract
spoil it.
killer. Contract killer, assassin, same thing. He's retired. His wife just died of cancer. As his wife's last gift, right before she died, she ordered him a dog, a little beagle. So one day he goes out, he meets these Russian people. His Russian people want to steal his car. He says no. So he comes back, they break in his home, they kill his dog. He goes berserk, kills all of them. Second one, what happens in the second one? Second one,
he's still trying to get his car back.
Yeah, second one, he gets his car back and he's back home. This happens immediately, like a month after the first John Wick movie, like in the timeline reference.
Yeah.
In the second one, John Wick, right before he left, or right before he made the deal that like made him leave, he signed a contract or a blood oath saying like, if you guys ever need me to come back, like you have to hand me this thing, I'll do that job, and that's it. So this guy hands him the thing, says, you got to do this job for me. John Wick doesn't want to. The guy blows up John Wick's house, says it would get worse unless you do this. So John Wick does the deed. After he does the deed, the same guy tries to kill him, and it goes nuts again. It's amazing. Watch the movie. Anyway, John Wick ends up winning. But, okay, in the franchise, there is a hotel that they stay at. The Continental. No business is allowed to be dealt with inside the hotel. So no,
The first one.
so no murder, no fights, no nothing. In there, it's strictly professional. You guys are just rooming there. John Wick kills him in the John Wick kills the guy in the hotel. So that sets up the plot for the third thing. John Wick gets excommunicated from the contract assassin
from his organization.
league, whatever. I guess they have a fantasy football team. I don't know.
Yeah, Fantasy Assassination League. You never done it?
And so the movie ends with the guy who runs the entire thing telling John Wick, you have an hour to get your stuff ready. And he sends out a text saying John Wick is excommunicated, takes place in an hour. And as John Wick is walking away, everyone's getting this text. Everyone around him, like everyone. Apparently, everyone's a contract killer, which is, oh my God. But, and John Wick's looking around and he starts to pick up speed and he starts sprinting off. Now in this movie, I watched the trailer for it like 8 times. I love it. I love it. Everybody's after John Wick. And in the guy who sent out the text or the contract saying John Wick's excommunicated starts off by saying like, you know what's gonna happen. And he's talking to the woman who I guess set up this entire thing, like set up everybody to kill him. Yeah, his boss is saying, you know what's gonna happen. She goes, if John Wick isn't killed, do you know what's gonna happen? She goes, and he says back to her, you don't know what he could do. And then it just goes to a whole bunch of fight scenes.
Awesome.
Oh God.
Awesome.
John Wick's gonna be fantastic. Anybody else want to say something before I go off on a rant?
So to preface, the reason why John Wick is so important is because they call him the boogeyman.
Baba Yaga.
So he used to work for a Russian organization, and they called him the boogeyman because he was so freaking good at his job. So when he's like, you don't understand what kind of person he is, he literally means that. Like in the second movie, he kills 2 men with 1 pencil.
With a pencil.
It's crazy.
Like that scene
A
in
pencil.
Dark Knight, the Joker, he puts the pencil on the table. And
Ta-da! Yeah.
I've seen that movie a lot, but I've never seen John Wick.
So good. So I work in a movie theater back home, and one of my manager's buddies works in like big time films, and sent him Snapchats of like behind the scenes of John Wick 3. Ooh. So I got to see like a little like snippets and stuff. There, I got a snap of an entire New York street covered in blood.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it rained blood. I saw a fake burning body, an entire wall of prop guns. Like it looks so cool, and I am so excited for it.
There's a scene in the trailer where John Wick is fighting somebody, and they look at each other, and then the one guy turns around, and John Wick turns around. There's just walls of knives, and they're
like an antique knives
They look at
place.
each other again, and the one guy breaks the window to get knives, and John Wick does the same thing, and I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, I'm ready
The
for
next
this.
scene
'Cause they-
is the dude that he was looking at on the ground, and he keeps breaking the glass, grabbing another knife, and throwing it into
Yeah.
him. There's like 6 knives in the guy's body. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I will
You
go
don't
see
know how
this
many
movie
knives
at least
it
5
takes to
times.
kill a man, okay?
It was still moving, so I
Sometimes
mean,
it's
you know,
one,
it's true.
sometimes it's 20.
Yeah.
Or in the
Yeah,
case
yeah.
of Caesar, what was it, like 30 something? I mean,
It's gonna be very good. Very,
I'm
very good.
so ready. John Wick is my favorite. Will be my favorite franchise.
sure,
Right now
for
because
sure.
it's my favorite action franchise, and will forever be because I don't like Jason Bourne. I mean, I do like
Yeah.
Jason Bourne, but John Wick's better. John Wick's
it's-
better. And after this movie, I think everyone's gonna be like, this is the best. Like, I think
for
John
sure.
Wick will be the best action-filled movie in.
in a while.
it's just because it's
In a
how
while.
stylized it is.
I was gonna say it's like
I've seen about half of the first John Wick. I just keep forgetting to finish it, which is my mistake personally. But I remember the scene where, because it was like the one guy's son.
Yeah.
I remember he was in a club, and then John Wick, he sneaks in somehow. I can't remember how. And it's just neon everywhere, and it's a great action scene. And like I'm like, man, this is great. I love this. That's
It's
what I
like-
thought.
That's your
It's-
take?
So it's just like a very, very crude version of Jason Bourne. Like in the Jason
Yeah.
Bourne movies, they always had like the music while you're fighting. Not in John Wick. It's always quiet. Like
Yeah.
they keep it like an actual fight. Like you hear, like it's like an actual fight. There's no
you
like
hear, like,
extra
the-
stuff to it.
I also
it's
like how.
Hollywood fight, but
but
it's,
like
it's a
more
mix.
normalized. Yeah.
I also
There's
like
no
how
music, nothing crazy.
John Wick is the only action franchise where he reloads the gun when it's out.
Yeah.
Like,
for
you
sure.
count 15, and like, he goes to shoot again, it's out, and he goes, oh. And he does it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good, consistent. And I'm like, the first movie was more passion driven.
Yeah.
Like, he had a motive. The second one wasn't as passion driven.
It was more
but
regret, to be honest.
It was more
of his
regret, but
decisions.
it had more action. This one, however, I think is just going to be straight up action packed.
Oh yeah,
It's
because
like-
he's fighting for his life.
It's
Yeah,
just
he's
a
like-
need to survive.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the real what John Wick could do. Like
do.
in the past movies, we saw like a guy who's been out of the game. Like in the first one, we saw a guy who's been out of the assassin business.
Yeah.
For a little
10
bit.
years,
Yeah, not 10 years.
5.
I think a few months.
I don't know. I want to say
I know,
at
I
least.
think it's been a couple of years.
least
You
a
think?
year or two,
Yeah,
at least.
because the way they describe him, like when they describe him as the Baba
even,
Yaga,
like,
it
the
sounds like
guy's-
he was in his 20s.
the guy's
he's in like
son-
his 40s now. You know what I mean? And he got
Right.
married and stuff.
Well,
so
well, no, he left because he wanted to get married.
Yeah.
But because even still, the guy's son didn't know who John Wick was.
yeah, so
Okay.
time
so,
has passed.
All right, so let's say a few years. So we've seen a rusty old, not old, but a rusty guy at killing people.
Yeah.
The second one, he's still kind of rusty because it only takes place like a few weeks,
Yeah.
maybe a month
Yeah.
after.
But he's getting back into the groove.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting back into the groove of it. This one though, like
It's like
he's
full
like
blown.
he's stretched out,
Full
he's ready
stop,
to
yeah.
go. Like he's like, I've been going all day, let's keep doing it.
There's no way that this movie is gonna end with him being alive though. Like let's be honest.
I'm perfectly
What if
fine
it
with
does?
that.
He kills
But
everyone
the-
in New York City.
It better be like a Scar kind of shootout at the end. You
Scarface
know what I
scene?
mean? Yeah, Scarface, where they like
Yeah.
just unload into him.
I
I'm
thi-
excited for it.
I,
Very
I
excited
have a
for it.
prediction. I have a prediction. It's gonna end like he got killed.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Maybe.
Okay,
Maybe.
He's
That'd be
somewhere.
pretty cool.
He's chilling in Cabo right now.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
he's
'cause-
sipping on a margarita, doing something. I don't
got
know.
a new dog.
With his dog. No,
Yeah.
he has a
Yeah,
dog right
he
now.
has a new pit bull.
So
yeah.
he's with his pit bull. He's giving the pit bull some martinis, whatever. But I think that's what's gonna happen.
Actually, you can't give dogs alcohol. They'll kill them.
I mean,
Okay,
you
I'm
can.
making a joke.
I've seen a drunk beagle before,
You're not
but that's
supposed
besides the
to.
point.
That's besides the point.
But
Okay, I think we should move on.
well, wait. I just want to say.
all right.
There's 2 ways this movie ends. I think.
Okay.
3, I guess, including yours. Where
Yeah.
But he either he dies in like a massive shootout, or he somehow kills everyone
everybody.
in New York City.
Yeah.
That's where it is, right? New York
Yeah.
City.
Yeah, it's New York.
Because apparently everyone there is a contract killer from what you guys are
Yeah.
saying. So yeah, he kills everyone in New York City and then he just takes over just that city. It's John Wick. He starts his own country, and that's the 4th movie. Is him running his own country. It's a political thriller.
Yeah.
If it doesn't end with him lighting a cigar,
Oh, dude, that would be so awesome.
like I'm perfectly fine with him lighting a cigar in a comfy leather chair and saying, "I'm ready."
Yeah.
and then someone just like shooting him.
that'd
I'm
be
perfectly
pretty cool.
if that's how it ends, I'll be
Yeah.
perfectly fine with it. If he dies in a major shootout like Scarface, I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. I just don't want him to like he's killing everybody and someone just comes up from behind and shoots
Yeah,
in the back.
it
and he's
better
like-
not be something BS like
And then like
that.
they're like, "Oh," and then
Yeah.
funeral. I'm like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
It's John Wick. You can't just shoot him in the back. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. All right, so moving on to our final movie, which is kind of newer, definitely
trailer
not
came
associated to anybody or anything. It's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
To my right is Bounty Law Series lead and Jake K. Hill himself, Rick Dalton. And to my left is Rick's stunt double Cliff Booth. So, Rick, explain to the audience exactly what it is a stunt double does.
Actors are required to do a lot of dangerous stuff. Cliff here is meant to help carry the load.
Is that how you describe your job, Cliff?
What, carrying his load? Yeah, it's about right.
So none of us really have a full grasp on it, but
I don't think
basically.
anyone does. Tarantino.
Yeah,
will keep flying
it's
under
Quentin
wraps.
Tarantino's 9th film, and it's basically the relationship between an actor and his stunt double. And from what it seems, they seem like best friends, and it basically just follows their adventures through all of the movies that they've starred in. And I mean, it looks pretty great.
When
What
it
do you guys think?
It only takes place in like the 1 year. I
Yeah.
think. So it's
Yeah.
not all of their movies.
Yeah, but
Like
it's
one.
like their little mini adventure.
It's gonna
yeah.
be like probably a production of a single movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it looks good. It's Tarantino, so it's gonna
Yeah.
It's obviously gonna be fantastic. That's then no question. But also because this is his second to last movie, which is one of those things where it's like, oh no, he's almost done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, we should fill you guys in with that. Quentin Tarantino said he's only doing 10
10
movies,
films,
10 films, and this is his 9th. That's why he only has one more left after this
Yeah.
one. Just for all y'all that didn't know.
It's gonna be interesting though, because again, like, you brought this up before we started filming, how every Tarantino movie is connected. It's gonna be interesting trying to find out.
Yeah, figure out how that piece fits.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think this is gonna be a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt look
Very, very
fantastic
cool
together.
combination.
Because I love Brad Pitt's little like sarcastic humor
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the movie. Like in the like he says in the one part, this guy's supposed to be playing Bruce Lee, and he goes, "My hands are lethal weapons. I accidentally kill you in a fight, I go to jail." And it turns Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt goes, "You kill anybody by
Anybody
accident."
kills anybody by accident.
Anybody kills anybody by accident, you go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
My hands are registered as lethal weapons. We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you. I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
And then he's like
They
blocking
get into,
Bruce,
like, this
all of Bruce Lee's
crazy cool
punches.
fight,
And
yeah.
I'm like, ooh, all right.
Yeah.
And apparently Quentin Tarantino said himself that the chemistry between Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio is the best he's seen since Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Also, if you look at a side by side with Red is playing the main character,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio, and the person he's supposed to be playing,
They
it's
look very
almost
similar.
identical.
Yeah.
Same
The
with
only
Brad
way
Pitt.
you can tell them apart is you can tell one's in 2019 and one's in
Yeah,
1960.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the cockiness that both characters have because it comes from like a different perspective. Like the actor has the cockiness because he's a big time Hollywood actor, and his stunt double has the cockiness because he's been doing stunts for so long that he's just like,
Yeah,
let's
it's
get
like-
this over with. You know what I mean? It looks very good to me. I'm excited for it.
And Margot Robbie's in this as well. We
Yeah.
don't know her part fully because she doesn't talk in the trailer.
Yeah, was she one of the people dancing in the trailer?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But she's in it as well, and I'm actually interested to see what part she has because I'm guessing she's a love interest to one of
Probably,
them.
yeah.
Or this movie actually has something to do with the Manson murders.
Yeah, we
we
think.
think it
We're not
takes
entirely
place
sure, yeah.
during the
Just a
Manson
theory.
murders or something like that. Because Charles Manson's in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy who plays Charles Manson's in the trailer. And for some reason, I think Margot Robbie has something to do with that.
That'd be interesting.
But
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen
Yeah,
with it
yeah.
because I think it's going to be interesting because Quentin Tarantino always has interesting things with his movies, like either a weird plot twist or like someone else is like there's a killer in there for some
Yeah.
weird reason. or like someone's underneath the floor, giving away some things here in like other movies.
Wait, that was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
But
what that was.
I'm interested to see what Quentin Tarantino has involved,
Yeah.
or involved, not involved. I'm messing up my words. Has in store
Yeah.
for this movie, because I think it's gonna be one of his better films.
Yeah, for
actually.
sure. For sure.
Thinking about Tarantino now, like just his style, I feel it probably is gonna have more to do with the Manson murders. Because think of one Tarantino movie that doesn't have any like.
Oh no, someone's
blood
definitely
or-
yeah,
gonna
no,
die.
it-
Yeah,
they're
someone's gonna
over the
die.
top.
There's
for sure.
no way this doesn't have anything to do with the Manson murders. I don't know why I would second guess that
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt tries to fight Charles Manson. Ooh, let's set that up.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So definitely one to look out for. So that brings us to the end of Movie Minute. I'm Zach Moletz,
I'm Chance Wandler.
I'm Alex Wargo.
and we'll see you guys in the next one.